Yo, what is going on, guys? And welcome back to the 365 Recap and 365 Analytics. And today we are here. It is Wednesday today, usually on a Tuesday, but we delayed this thing one day. And we are here with the 365 Recap, as usual, going over everything that went over in the past weekend with football, NCAA, college football, um, the NFL, obviously. And we even today are going to be including some basketball stuff because NBA's opening night was yesterday. The NBA on NBC making its first appearance in 23 years. That was a very good thing. Mike Tirico, Noah Eagle, those guys called a hell of a game, but we have a lot to talk about today as we get into this. Before I get into it, I'm not going to yap anymore. If you guys do enjoy today's video, please like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos exactly like this one. And without further ado, let's get right into it. To start off, we're going to talk about some college football. This might be a little bit of a quicker episode today because I'm not feeling that great. I have to record game picks still later to upload tomorrow afternoon. But let's get right into this. As we start on the college football slate, Friday night, I was on a flight back from Cincinnati, but we had some great games. I was watching these games on the plane. Louisville upsets number two Miami in Hard Rock Stadium. I mean, Jeff Brom, spectacular coaching performance. Carson Beck throws four interceptions as Louisville gets the ACC upset. Louisville goes to 5-1, drops Miami to 5-1. That's Miami's first loss of the entire season. And Minnesota beats Nebraska at home. The Minnesota goes to 5-2, 3-1 in the Big Ten. Dylan Raiola, nothing really special. 17 for 25, one touchdown, 77 yards. Not a great game from him. On the Saturday slate, we have some good ranked games. Ohio State beats Wisconsin 34 to nothing. Luke Fickell, I don't know how Luke Fickell's doing a job in Wisconsin, but it's pretty crazy. They're 0-4 in the Big Ten, 2-5 on the season. Just a disaster of a season for them. Only a matter of weeks until Luke Fickell's eventually fired. Ohio State obviously keeps rolling as the number one team in the country. They're undefeated, 7-0. And Julian Sayin is having a great season. 36-42, 393, and four touchdowns in that game. Indiana beats Michigan State at home handily. Fernando Mendoza probably looking like the Heisman favorite as of right now. He goes 24 to 28, 332 and four touchdowns as Indiana rolls. They stay undefeated. They win 38-13. Texas A&M beats Arkansas in a very, very high scoring game. Marcel Reed, very good game from him, 280 and three touchdowns. I mean, 45 to 42. Obviously, you had a new interim head coach in for Arkansas after they fired their head coach last week. But Texas A&M, one of the best teams in the country this year, keeps it rolling. They're undefeated in the SEC. They win a high scoring game. A very, very big SEC game here. Ole Miss, Georgia. Undefeated Ole Miss traveling into Athens. The Georgia Bulldogs end up outdueling Ole Miss in a thriller 43 to 35. Gunnar Stockton 289, four touchdowns. They played so well. I mean, Trinidad Chambliss was pretty mid. Ole Miss was scoring on all cylinders in the first half. They were firing on all cylinders. They ended up going up 35-24 at one point in the game. Georgia stormed all the way back to end up getting the win, and they beat Ole Miss. They go to 6-1 the season. Then you had the third Saturday in October on ABC, SEC on ABC Saturday night, 37 to 20. Alabama keeps rolling. That's six in a row for Ty Simpson and the Tide. Aguilar goes 268, one touchdown. Nothing really special for Tennessee. There was a big, big pick six at the end of the half for Alabama. Joey Aguilar at the goal line throws a pick six. Alabama goes all the way back and scores as they beat Tennessee at home. Season's not over for Tennessee by any means, but now they have two losses. They're now 2-2 in SEC play. Arizona State beats Texas Tech at home in a Big 12 matchup. Very, very good game. Sam Levitt is back, and he played very well. Arizona State goes to 3-1 in the Big 12. They're 5-2 now. Texas Tech, number 7 in the country, coming into this game, suffers their first loss the entire season. 22-26 is the score there. Oregon beats Rutgers 56-10. Rutgers falls to 0-4 in the Big 10. Dante Moore, good game from him, four touchdowns. LSU and Vandy, very good SEC games on Saturday. 24-31, Vandy, Diego Pavia, and the Commodores get it done at home, 6-1. They're 2-1 in the SEC. They'll take on Missouri this upcoming week, which we'll talk about in a second here. Georgia Tech beats Duke 27-18. I have no clue why Duke was even favored in this game. I thought Brent Key and Georgia Tech were going to roll, and they didn't really roll, but they won pretty handily. Haynes King, 120 yards rushing. What a game from him. Brent Key's team is still undefeated. They are on a mission right now. Great start I shouldn't say start. We're already halfway through the college football season, but great season so far from Georgia Tech. USC and Notre Dame, essentially an elimination game for the college football playoff. Notre Dame comes away with a win. CJ Carr played well. I mean, Jalen Lane did his thing. I mean, Jeremiah Love, 220 and a touchdown. Can't really say much bad about him, but Mayavo is decent. Notre Dame just won the game at home. They got it done. Oklahoma beat South Carolina 26-7 in SEC matchup. John Mateer, a little bit of a rebound game for them. They got the win. They'll take on Ole Miss this Saturday. Big game here between two ranked teams. Utah, BYU, an good old fashioned rivalry in the Big 12. BYU gets it done at home as they continue their undefeated streak. They're 24-21. They win. They're undefeated in the Big 12. They're playing some good football right now. 24-21. They get the win. Mizzou beats Auburn in double overtime in an SEC game. Missouri goes to 6-1, 2-1 in the SEC. They win double OT 23-17. Very good game here. Auburn just couldn't get it done in the end. Cobb had 111 yards, though good game for him, but it wasn't enough. Virginia sneaks past Wazoo. Virginia goes 6-1, 22-20. Virginia, the Cavs get it done. They're 5-0 at home. They're still in the AP poll. South Florida beats Florida Atlantic. South Florida 6-1. USF, a historic season for them. They win 40-13. They handle Florida Atlantic. Texas and Kentucky, good old fashioned SEC game. Kentucky, one of the worst teams in the SEC. Obviously, they go to 2-4, 0-4 in the SEC play. 16-13. Good grinded out game. Texas goes to 5-2, and they don't look like a 5-2 team right now. Arch Manning's not playing great football, but their defense in the end did enough to win the game. Texas got it done. Memphis loses to UAB. College game day probably would have went to USF Memphis if Memphis didn't just lose to UAB. But UAB gets the upset, gives Memphis their first loss of the season. It was a 6-0 start for Memphis, and it's disappointing that they lost like this because it would have been cool to see College game day go to Memphis. But yeah, whatever. And after dark, Cincinnati beats Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, obviously, a disaster every year for them. Mike Gundy fired a few weeks back. But Brendan Sorsby, 284, 4 touchdowns. They win 49-17 and are 6-1. 6 wins in a row since the week one loss to Nebraska. We'll look at next week's games real quick, and then we will talk about the AP poll. UCLA, Indiana. That's Big Ten Saturday. I mean, UCLA, they've won 3 in a row. Obviously, Nico Iamaleava is having a good rebound after the 0-4 start. They're 3-1 in the Big Ten now. I mean, they're looking competitive these past few weeks. Indiana, obviously, the number 2 team in the country right now. Georgia Tech hosts Syracuse. Ole Miss, Oklahoma this Saturday afternoon on ABC. 6-1 versus 6-1. Good SEC matchup. A very big SEC matchup. Obviously, it's Chambliss versus Mateer. Should be a very good game there. Virginia, North Carolina. Belichick versus Virginia. That's the storyline there, I guess. South Florida, Memphis. College game day probably would have went to Memphis as Memphis won last week. This is still a very big game in the American Athletic Conference. So I do think South Florida's a better team here, but it's a big game. Alabama, South Carolina, SEC game. Obviously, Simpson versus Sellers should be very interesting. This is the best game of the weekend, the biggest game of the weekend. Missouri, Vanderbilt, 6-1, 6-1. Big game. I mean, huge game. 15 ranked Missouri, 10 ranked Vanderbilt. The SEC is a bloodbath as usual. Big game there. BYU, Iowa State, big game in the Big 12. Iowa State's lost 2 in a row. I think they're coming off the bye right now, but they lost 2 in a row previously. I expect BYU to roll there. Illinois, Washington. Illinois is number 23 in the country. They're 5-2 right now. Washington also 5-2. They're coming off a loss. Oklahoma State, Texas Tech. Big game for Texas Tech coming off a loss. Baylor, Cincinnati in UC. Texas, Mississippi State SEC matchup there at 4 o'clock. Oregon hosts Wisconsin. Oregon should win that game 56-0. Miami hosts Stanford. Miami needs a big rebound game after last week. Stanford just did upset Florida State this past weekend. Florida State, I mean, they're looking like a disaster right now, to say the least. After the great start to the season they had, everybody thought Florida State was back. They don't look like it. Florida State looks bad right now, but Miami hosts them. SEC matchup on Saturday night. Texas A&M goes into LSU. LSU's offense, I'm still waiting for them to get going. Garrett Nussmeier just has not played well. I wouldn't be surprised if Texas A&M won this game by 3 scores. I mean, it's a good old SEC rivalry, so let's hope it's close, but I have no confidence in LSU right now. BC, Louisville. BC, I mean, they've lost 6 games in a row. I believe they're 0-4 in the ACC. Bill O'Brien might lose his job. Miller Moss is playing well, so. Michigan State, Big Ten Saturday night on NBC. Good old Big Ten rivalry there. Michigan just sneaks into the AP poll this weekend, number 25. Tennessee, Kentucky in the SEC network. SEC matchup there. And Arizona State hosts Houston. Should be a decent game there. Houston's probably one of the best teams not in the top 25, and Arizona State has Sam Levitt, obviously. They're 5-2 and number 24 in the country. But yeah, that's your upcoming schedule this weekend for college football. Now we will talk about the AP poll this week and give my reactions to the AP poll, coaches poll, and all that. And here is the week 9 college football AP poll. Feels insane to say we are already almost winding down the college football season as it ends in November. Only 4 more weeks of this, people. Enjoy every single Saturday and Sunday you have left because pretty soon college football will be over. We'll be talking about the college football playoff only in a few weeks here, but it's insane to say. So, rounding up the top three undefeated teams: Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M. Ohio State sat at number 1 the entire season now. Indiana goes up to number 2. Texas A&M goes number 3. Alabama's in the top 4 again. They've won 6 in a row, followed by Georgia, Oregon at number 6. Georgia Tech now at number 7, 7-0. Brent Key is rolling. Ole Miss falls 3 spots with the loss to Georgia. Miami falls 7 spots at 5-1. Vandy is 6-1. They go up 7 spots. BYU, they're undefeated. They're just outside of that top 10. Followed by Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Texas Tech falls 7 spots with the loss. Mizzou, they obviously travel to Vanderbilt this week. College game, they will be on site in Nashville. Followed by Virginia, Tennessee, down 6 spots with the loss to Bama. USF is killing it. They're number 18 in the country. Louisville, big upset. They were on unranked last week. They're now number 19. LSU at number 20, 6-1 Cincinnati at number 21, Texas at number 22, Illinois number 23, Arizona State number 24, and Michigan number 25 to round out the rankings. My reactions to the coaches poll, anything that really stands out? I don't think so. I mean, it's pretty similar this week in the coaches poll and the AP poll. There's nothing really that stands out besides BYU being in the top 10 here, Vandy being kicked out of the top 10 in the coaches poll. But other than that, it looks very similar. So, yeah, that's your week 9 college football ranking. It's been a very interesting season thus far. Not many college football games left. But now, we'll talk about the NFL real quick. Recap last week's games. Talk about this week's games real quick. We'll talk about more on game picks tomorrow. But then we'll talk about the NBA real quick and sign off. So, yeah, here's this week's NFL recap. Week 7 of the National Football League is officially in the books. And on Thursday Night Football, the Cincinnati Bengals, led by Joe Flacco, win against the Steelers in the whiteout game, 33-31. I was in Cincinnati for this game. It was a great game. Flacco goes 31-47, 342, and 3 touchdowns. Very interesting game. Jamar Chase, franchise record, 16 receptions. I mean, it was a great game to be at. I posted something like my community tab picture of me with like kind of like holding the phone above the stadium and all that. So that was pretty interesting. That was pretty fun. But yeah, great game to be at. 33-31. Good old AFC North rivalry. Some fireworks in that one. But Joe Flacco, what a game. The Rams beat the Jaguars 35-7 in Wembley in London. Stafford threw 5 touchdowns in this game. Travis Hunter had his first career touchdown. Stafford gets it done. Devontae Adams catches 3 touchdowns. Bears beat the Saints at Soldier Field 26-14. DeAndre Swift followed up by 2 good games in a row now. He's playing very well in these past few weeks. Bears get it done. They've won 4 in a row. The Browns absolutely kill the Dolphins 31-6. I mean, Tua was benched towards the end of the game. McDaniel looks so fed up with Tua. I'm shocked McDaniel hasn't even been fired yet. But apparently there's no changes being made at this time in Miami. Judkins has 3 touchdowns. I mean, it's a disaster in Miami right now. They're 1-6, 0-4 on the road. Man, that contract they gave to Tua looking like highway robbery right now. But yeah, not good. Patriots go to 5-2. They win 31-13 over Tennessee. Cam Ward had a few costly turnovers. Was not good in the game. New England gets it done. They got a lot of pressure there. Chiefs win against the Raiders 31-0. Mahomes, another great game. He's the leader in the clubhouse for MVP right now. There's not really any disputing it. 26-35, 286, and 3 touchdowns for him. He was my MVP pick before the year started, and it's looking good right now. But they win 31-0. The Chiefs look for real again. Philly gets a little bit of a rebound. They go to 5-2 after 2 straight losses. Jalen Hurts had his best game of the entire season, probably 19-23, 326, and 3 touchdowns. Devontae Smith played well. AJ Brown caught a touchdown. I mean, Philly gets it done. They look like the better team in this game. Carolina wins a grinded out defensive game against New York Jets. New York Jets fall still winless, 0-7. Bryce Young ended up going out later in the game. Andy Dalton finished it off, but Carolina ends up winning in the end. Leggett had 9 for 92 and a touchdown. Probably the craziest game the entire season thus far. The Giants and the Broncos, Dart versus Knicks, and both of them put on a show. Let me tell you, I think the Giants were up 26-7 in the fourth quarter. Was that the number? The Broncos scored all 33 points in the fourth quarter. A generational comeback, one of the best we've ever seen. Dart played so well. 15 for 33, 283, and 3 touchdowns. I mean, he looked great. The Broncos in the fourth quarter, they comes back. It was an insane game. I mean, you had Cortland Sutton catching passes. You had them storming down the field to get a game-winning field goal. I mean, it was a crazy, crazy game. Denver prevails in Mile High, and they go to 5-2 on the season. Colts Chargers, big game in the AFC. Indianapolis keeps it rolling, and they look for real. 30-24. Jonathan Taylor, 3 touchdowns. He still leads the NFL touchdowns. He's having an MVP type year. I mean, they're not going to give it to a running back. That's just not the era we live in. We live in a quarterback league now, and he's probably not going to win it, but I mean, he's having a great year. You just got to give it to him. Herbert goes 37 for 55, 420, and 3 touchdowns. I'll give credit to Herbert, but he stat padded a little. Let's be real. Chargers fans, you can admit that. He stat padded a little in this game. I mean, it was all in the second half. It was bombs away in the second half because the Colts took a big lead, but good game for Herbert nonetheless. I'll give him credit. Cowboys beat the Commanders 44-23, 44-22, excuse me, at home. Lamb played well. I mean, Javonte Williams, 116 yards and a touchdown. Dak Prescott keeps it going. He's playing well. He's playing good football. Cowboys go back to 500. They're undefeated technically at home. They have a tie, but they're undefeated. Packers win a good close game versus the Arizona Cardinals, 27-23. Josh Jacobs scores 2 touchdowns. Jacoby Brissett looking better than Kyler Murray. We'll see if Kyler Murray is back after the bye week this week. I believe Arizona's on the bye this week, but yeah, good game, good win for the Packers. Falcons 49 on Sunday Night Football. Pretty uneventful game besides Christian McCaffrey going absolutely bonkers. 24 carries, 129, 2 touchdowns, and 72 receiving yards for McCaffrey. Mac Jones didn't even do much. McCaffrey was the leader in the clubhouse in this game, and he got the Niners to win. Niners go to 5-2 with all the injuries they have. No Fred Warner, no Nick Bosa. Bryce Huff ended up getting injured in practice this week or something like that, or I think he's banged up right now, but I mean, Kyle Shanahan's doing great things with the Niners right now. I don't know, that's bugged. Um, Monday Night Football doubleheader. We had a 7 and a 10 o'clock game. Lions beat the Bucks in Ford Field 24-9. I mean, very sloppy game. Defense has played well. Mike Evans ended up going out in this game. He's expected to miss most of, if not all, the season. We'll see if he ends up returning towards down the stretch, but it's pretty sad to see that 1,000-yard streak ending. I mean, he's had a great career. I think he's the first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt. I think he's that good. But St. Brown had a touchdown on the first drive of the game. Gibbs played amazing, 17 for 136 and 2 touchdowns. They played well. Seahawks beat the Texans 27-19 in the 10 o'clock game. I went to bed with like 4 minutes in the fourth quarter in this game. I just didn't want to see it. Texans missed it. Texans went for it on fourth down in the red zone, didn't get in. I just went to bed because I didn't want to watch it anymore. So it was a pretty sloppy game, but I mean, Darnold played well. JSN, 123 and a touchdown. He played well. 27-19. Seattle goes to 5-2 on the season. But yeah, that's your week 7 in the National Football League. We are rolling now, and we are getting towards the Halloween season in the NFL. There's different time periods in the NFL. I'd say week 8 and 9 are your like Halloween weeks, like people have pumpkins on their head in the crowd and stuff like that. But it's pretty interesting. On Thursday night, tomorrow night, when I'm recording this, well, yeah, this will go up tonight, but tomorrow night when this goes up, Vikings Chargers 3-3, 4-3 in SoFi Stadium. Carson Wentz still expected to start for the Minnesota Vikings. It could be JJ McCarthy next week, but we'll have to wait another week for that. Should be an interesting game there. Jets Bengals on Sunday, 0-7. Tyrod Taylor is expected to start for the Jets, or Tyrod, but I've always called him Tyrod, so I'm gonna keep calling him Tyrod. But that's the word around. Aaron Glenn didn't officially announce that, but that's the word like around the insiders. The insiders got word. Woody Johnson basically ripped Justin Fields apart in an interview yesterday. I expect to be Tyrod Taylor for this game, but go Bengals, obviously. Dolphins, Falcons, Browns, Patriots in Gillette Stadium. Giants, Eagles, the rematch of the Thursday Night Football game a few weeks back. Can Philly get revenge for the few weeks ago? Bills, Panthers, expect to see Andy Dalton in that game for Carolina, but who knows? Can Bryce Young suit up? We'll see. Buffalo coming off a bye week. Bears Ravens. Lamar Jackson was on the practice field today. Ravens are 1-5. They're coming off the bye week. Let's see. Does Lamar Jackson play? I expect him to. It's now or never for the Baltimore Ravens, as must win as it gets if they want to revive their season. 49ers Texans in Houston. Bucks Saints, a little bit of an NFC South matchup there. Cowboys Broncos 425 CBS. Nance and Romo will be at this game. Should be a very interesting game. Offense versus defense. I mean, you have one of the best defenses in the league hosting one of the best offenses in the league right now, so it should be a very good game there. Titans and Colts have their second matchup this year. They played week 3, I believe it was, but Indianapolis is rolling. They're at home there. The premier game of the weekend, arguably Packers Steelers. Aaron Rodgers obviously plays his former team. Should be very interesting. Rodgers versus Love. The Unk versus the Apprentice. That's what I like to call it, but should be a very good game there. Steelers are wearing the 1950 throwbacks in this game. And you have Commanders Chiefs on Monday Night Football. No Jaden Daniels expected. Expected to be Marcus Mariota starting for Washington, but Kansas City hosts them on Monday Night Football. And they're favored by 12.5 points, which is it's a big number. But I mean, Marcus Mariota starting, so who knows? But yeah, that's week 7 in the NFL. That's previewing week 8. We'll have game picks tomorrow on the channel as usual. I'll be recording that later tonight. But now, before we sign off, let's do a little bit of a quick recap of last night's NBA games and preview tonight's NBA games. So, yeah, we're including a little bit of basketball. We're not going to do this every single week, but just because it's the opening weekend in the NBA, I want to talk about it a little bit, talk about the game. We had a crazy game last night. So, yeah, let's talk about basketball real quick. And here are the NBA scores from last night. We had some good games. I mean, I'm not gonna say I watched this full game because I didn't. I didn't watch the full game. I mean, I had a 10 p.m. Monday Night Football game. We watched Monday Night Football the night before on 10 p.m. I mean, come on, I couldn't watch two 10 p.m. things 2 days in a row, but it's pretty crazy. But I don't know how NBA. I don't know how I really know how NBA like junkies do it because 10 p.m. kickoffs or tip off. Sorry, I'm in football mode. It's football season, but I don't know how people do it. NBA fans do it really. So, but those 10 p.m. tip-offs are crazy. But we had a crazy opening game. Mike Tirico, Reggie Miller, and Jamal Crawford on the call for this game. Rockets, Thunder. Obviously, you had KD, Adam Silver, cinema scheduling. KD in Oklahoma City for ring night. I mean, 124 to 125, double overtime. Şengün 39, 11, and 7. Şengün was crazy last night. He hit a lot of jump shots, hit a few 3-pointers. I think he had 5 3-pointers. He only had 21 3-pointers all of last season. Great game for him. But the reigning MVP just got it done. 35 points. And he didn't even have a great first half. I think only like 10 points something in the first half. Chet Holmgren was also great. But Oklahoma City just did it. Double overtime, great game. A double overtime thriller to start the season. And in the nightcap, it was 119 to 109. The Warriors beat the Lakers on the road. No LeBron James in this game, obviously. 31 points for Jimmy Butler. He had a great game to open the season. Luka Doncic, 43, 12, and 9. He had a great game in his own right, but the Lakers just didn't do enough. DeAndre Ayton, I saw Lakers fans online complain about DeAndre Ayton already. It was pretty funny, but Warriors win 119 to 109. Regular season basketball doesn't matter that much, but I think it's fun to watch opening week, especially with new TV deals. NBC's presentation was absolutely great. Obviously, saw Round Ball Rock, their theme back, but it was great. So, yeah, tonight, Inside the NBA makes their debut on ESPN, so I'm excited for that. Shaq, Ernie, Chuck, Kenny. That's gonna be really fun to watch. But I'm more excited about Inside the NBA making their debut in the games tonight, to be honest with you, because regular season basketball I'm not a huge fan of. I always watch opening week, but Cavs, Knicks, two Titans in the Eastern Conference, probably the two favorites in the Eastern Conference going into the season. That should be a good game there. You have some other teams making their debut tonight. Sixers, Celtics should be decent. Just a lot of League Pass games tonight. And then you have Spurs Mavericks. Obviously, you have Wemby versus Cooper Flag. That should be a good game in the Western Conference. Anthony Davis. So that should be very interesting there. Should be a good game for 9:30. Thursday night, I won't be watching these games because I'll be watching football on Thursday night. But you have the finals rematch. No Tyrese Halliburton won't make it as interesting. But Thunder Pacers at 7:30 inside the NBA will also be the pregame show for this one. Then you have Denver and Golden State on 10 p.m. Friday night. The NBA on Prime Video make their debut, so I'm definitely going to tune into some of these games. Ian Eagle and Kevin Harlan will be calling both these games. Celtics, Knicks in MSG should be a good game there. No Jason Tatum, obviously, still. And then you have Wolves, Lakers, Edwards versus Doncic. playoff rematch of last year. Should be very fun in Los Angeles. But yeah, the NBA season has started. NBA fans, I hope you're excited. I'm not a huge NBA guy in the regular season. I don't really think the NBA season really starts until after the All-Star break. I mean, that's just kind of how I feel. When the Super Bowl's over and the All-Star break's over, then it's NBA season for me. It's not really NBA season until football really ends for me, but I always have fun watching opening week this year, especially with obviously Inside the NBA's on ESPN now. You have NBC. They killed it yesterday with the presentation. They look like the big games are always on NBC. Obviously, you have Sunday Night Football. Like Mike Tirico kills it on Sunday Night Football. So yeah, Prime Video. You have Harlan and Eagle, two of the best announcers in the entire game. They obviously call NFL games too, but yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy the 365 recap. We talked about some football today, talked about some basketball, had a little bit of a variety today. We won't talk about basketball every week. The next time we talk about basketball, honestly, might be after the football season ends, unless anything big happens. But if you guys did enjoy today's video, please like, subscribe to the channel, and turn post notifications for more videos exactly like this one. But I'm gonna get this video scheduled for tonight. I'm gonna record game picks tonight after Inside the NBA because I do want to watch Inside the NBA. I care about Inside the NBA more than the actual games tonight, but um, yeah, that's enjoyed for today's video. I'll see y'all tomorrow for game picks, week 8 NFL picks, and yeah, have a great night.